G'day ladies and gents, welcome to War Thunder with Mags, and welcome aboard the P-400. So as I'm sure most of you are aware, Gaijin has been running a Christmas marathon to unlock a prototype Lag 3 and the M8A1 premium tank for the Americans over the Christmas holidays, and I've been balls deep in these events. I've pretty much completed every single one of them at this time. There's only 2 remaining which will become available for me to knock over tonight. Now, as a result, I haven't had a chance to record battles in very many aircraft that did not participate in the actual events that Gaijin has been putting forth. I've just been too busy knocking them over. So that's where today's 2 battles come from. Now, the first one is the P-400. Now, I used it to complete the Aerocobra event, which was available for the P-400 and the P-39 Aerocobra series of fighters. The requirement was to achieve 30 kills in arcade or 15 kills in realistic battle. Now, this particular battle lasted about 24 minutes, but my part in it lasted less than 10. Basically what happened here was a HE111 hid for most of the match until we finally located him and executed him. But this is one of those matches where I actually really can't blame him for trying to hide. So there's my first kill of the match. SM-79 removed. Fairly rare to see those things floating around. And then I spot the rest of the enemy team, and holy shit. DO 217 and, well, the rest of the team was pretty much made up of Ju-87s. There is a Focke-Wulf 190 and a Bf 109 in this match, but they are the only 2 fighters on the German team. Everything else is bombers or ground attackers, and, well, I'm sure you can guess exactly how this went. So lining up the G1, I'm out of 20mm ammunition. The SM-79 ate all of those, but that doesn't really bother me. The 20mm is nice, but I don't fly this plane for its 20mm. Once I've lit him on fire, break off, there's more killing to be done. There's another Ju-87G low. I'm trying to get an angle on it. I am moving relatively fast, so the yaw rate on this plane is not particularly good at the moment at high speeds. Managed to put a clip into him as he goes past. Nothing major. Continue punching through. I have hit the overtemp on my engine, so I am watching it at the moment, but I've got a minute 30, so I'm not particularly worried. Run the guns across this DO 217, bank it high and get ready to drop back in. Now as I'm bringing it around, I am checking the targets in the distance. I have a Ju-87D, it's probably the most dangerous aircraft in the area. There is also another G model floating around, so I've just dipped underneath the D that is trying to engage me. Rip the guns and set the DO 217 on fire, both engines, pull up and away. Now you'll notice I'm trying to keep my airspeed over 300 as often as I possibly can. The Ju-87s are only really dangerous to this aircraft if I go slow and begin to try and turn with them, providing I can keep my airspeed high. Over 300 is good, over 400 is better. They're a very little risk to me. 55 seconds on the overheat, so I'm going to put the plane into a wide bank and then drop the throttles right back to begin cooling it off. Just trying to make sure I've got enough gap before I do it, so while I'm going through the banking turn, I'm safe. 42 seconds, there we go, engines to 0. Bring it around wide. The 87D is coming at me. Dip underneath, he has a Beaufighter on his tail. I'm going to let the Beaufighter engage and just continue back through. Nose up, throttles back to full. Oil temperature is still warm, water temperature has gone back up, but I'm all good. Controlling this plane's temperature is just almost too easy. Now at this point, all the ground attackers and bombers over this side of the map have been dealt with. The Focke-Wulf 190 and the Bf 109 have both dropped into visual. They're right down on the deck trying to engage our fighters. Unfortunately for them, they've let themselves, well, basically get jumped. There's P-63 King Cobras sitting above the 190, and the 109 is being engaged by multiple aircraft as well. I don't think it's likely that I'm going to get to them in time, but as they're the only targets at in visual range, I decided to head in that direction. Just dip the nose to increase my airspeed. Many people underestimate exactly how fast the P-400 actually is. You can get it to 460 on the deck, fully upgraded. It's actually really good, and out of a dive you can maintain 500 kilometers an hour in it for at least a very limited amount of time. Now the Focke-Wulf 190 has been eliminated, so I've just banked off, pushing my airspeed back up again, trying to get to the 109. It's 3.5 kilometers away and running away from me in its dogfight, but I am closing the gap. And there goes the 109 shot down by P-39Q. Now that leaves 4 enemy aircraft available. Now, we haven't seen any of them, but I'm going to make a guess at the number of ground attackers we had before. They were probably ground attackers. I've got enemy ground targets in the area, so I've got plenty of ammo on board. I'll take a couple of extra shots down here because it's all extra credits. And then I'm going to head towards their runway and see if I can intercept anybody that was RTBing. A couple of minutes of flying later, and sure enough, I come across a Ju-87G. I'm not sure if it's a 1 or 2, but it's heading RTB. It spots me coming in and tries to bring the nose around. But I'll bet my 50 calibers against its tank buster cannons any day in a head-on. Straight across the front, and there's my 4th kill of the match. Now at this point, I decide to head home, refresh the ammunition. I've got the time, there's nobody else in the area. And it takes about 10 minutes for the team to find the last planes that are missing, so that brings it about the end of the match. So, first place for the team with 4 kills and 2 ground kills. Fighter Rescuer, Ground Forces Rescuer, Professional, Shadow Strike Streak, Wind Streak, Terror of the Sky, Balancer, and Bulletproof. 80,985 Silver Lions and 3,413 research points, but that went into the nether because, as you can see, nothing to research. And I think this match works perfectly as an example of why there should be limits placed on the number of bombers and ground attackers that should be able to appear in a realistic battle. I can't imagine that was a lot of fun for the German team. I really can't. And it wasn't a huge amount of fun from my end. It certainly made it much easier for me to be able to complete the event. That was 4 kills. In simulation, that go in realistic battle, that gives you double points. That was worth 8 of the 30 kills that I needed in order to complete the event. But I would have rather fight fighters than boom and zoom ground attack aircraft. Nevertheless, that was the P-400. Fun, good little aircraft. So for our second battle of the day, we're in the Hurricane Mark 1, and this is actually a bit of a special battle because I've never actually shown the Hurricane Mark 1 on my channel before. I'm not entirely sure why. It's a plane that I actually quite like flying. It's a lot of fun, but it's a plane that I don't commonly fly out. But the event for this particular day was 30 kills in a Hawker aircraft, so I chose the Hurricane Mark 1 as the one to complete this in, and I'm really glad I did. I had a lot of fun flying this around. So I've picked my first target for this match, Ju-88, PlayStation 4 player. It's once again going after the German bombers. However, this match isn't like the last one. There is actually a substantially larger amount of German fighters. You'll also see that I'm having a lot of trouble trying to catch this Ju-88. That thing is actually really fast, and the Hurricane is not. The Hurricane's true advantage is in its maneuverability. Once it gets into a dogfight, it is a lethal machine. It has 2,800 rounds of ammunition across all its 30 caliber machine guns. It seems like a lot, but it does have a lot of guns. It will chew through it incredibly fast. Its burst mass is incredibly high for an aircraft that is only armed with 30 cals. However, getting it into that dogfight is a bit of an issue. Now, having just run into the rest of the enemy team, I'm now a little bit torn. Part of me still wants to pursue that Ju-88, but look at all the fighters. In the end, I decide I want to go after the fighters. I need to be shooting something that has a chance of shooting back. The Ju-88 is fast, however, if I manage to get close enough to it, it will just die. Now the MC-200 blows overhead, but I take a shot that looks like it came from high and behind. I haven't seen any targets in that position behind me, so I manoeuvre hard. Only finding the MC-200, the shot must have come from there, and there's my first kill. Just rip its cockpit open. Nose down from the kill, and we've got a HE-112 directly below, engaging one of our fighters. We've also got a BF-109 coming in. Looks like an F-series. Yes, it's an F1. Now this did give me a moment of pause here. Which one do I shoot down? In the end, I decide the BF-109 F1 is the far more dangerous aircraft. I can turn with the HE-112, but that F1 has a lot of firepower and is incredibly fast. If it flies away, I'll never catch it. Just trying to get these guns on target. It has been some time since I've used the Hurricane, and I've ripped its control surfaces to pieces, and down it goes. So turn back through, and it looks like the HE-111 has hit trees and gone down as well. So that's the second kill of the match. Start looking for my next target. Now you'll notice I'm already down to 1,624 rounds of MG. I've blown over 1,200 rounds in just those 2 kills. That is because there is just so many 30 caliber machine guns firing through that 2,800 ammo load that it doesn't last anywhere near as long as you think it would. Plenty more targets to choose from here. I've got two 109s and a G50 off my left wing, and I've got that Ju-88 that I was chasing before directly in front. I've decided I'm going to deal with him next. He has been having some successful bombing runs, so just aim up while he's heading in my direction and then spike him from below. I'm taking a lot of hits from behind. There we go, another pilot kill, and the Ju-88 is down. Third kill of the match. Now, as I was saying, I was taking a lot of hits from behind. I originally thought I must have been being engaged by the G50 or one of the 109s, but it turns out there is a battery of AAA tanks on the ground, or AAA units on the ground, that are all engaging me at once and are having surprisingly high levels of accuracy. So that makes my nearest enemy this 109, so he's going to be next. Although there is a BF-110 coming in on my left-hand wing at the moment. It's only 3 kilometers out and closing, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on that aircraft as well. We have a second Hurricane and an F4F already engaging this 109, 1.5 out and closing. G50 is engaging an F2A Buffalo directly overhead, so I need to be aware that it is up there because it can dive down on me while I'm going for the 109. 109 goes down, so it's not a problem anymore. Looks like the 110 is going to be the go. However, the G50 looks like it's got the better of the Buffalo, so I better rescue the Buffalo first. Just over 1,400 rounds of ammunition on board. I'm going to put the plane into a sharp bank and let him go underneath and drop in onto his tail. Now the G50 is an incredibly manoeuvrable aircraft, but a Hurricane it is not. Dip the nose down and start trying to gather speed to close in on its tail. And it was around about now where I started hearing the chatter of a machine gun. Now that's a 50 caliber Browning, that's the Buffalo that I just rescued, that's fallen back onto the tail of the G50 and is now attempting to shoot it down. He's bloody close, and there he is there. I was really keeping it low. I wanted to make sure I stayed out of his way. Pull up sharply, put one hit into the aircraft. Now the Buffalo never actually managed to hit that aircraft, and my hit was not fatal. The pilot just lost control of the plane. Either that or he attempted to suicide, and either way, that kill went to me. Now the BF-110 tried to capitalise on this situation, but managed to miss both of us in a high-speed pass. He took the 110 vertical, and both the Buffalo and myself decided to follow, so we're both putting shots into the back of him at the moment. I'll just put my first critical on. Damage to the fuselage, nothing serious, it's not going to slow him down. I'm trying to angle shots into the engines at the moment. From the sounds of it, the Buffalo's out of 50 caliber ammunition, so it's only got a single 30 cal left, and he's trying to put the rest of the herd on. He's slightly faster than I am, so he can get in that little bit closer and make that one machine gun work very well for him. However, I get lucky, smoke the left engine, set the right engine on fire, and that's the last of my ammunition. I've burnt all 2,800 rounds out. So if it burns out, it's an ace in a day round in a Hurricane, but no, only a kill assist. F4F drops in to secure the kill, and that's it. There is still an enemy aircraft up, however by the time I get back to base, recharge the guns and get back to the battle, it's all over. So let's go check out the results. So, first place for the team with 4 kills and 1 assist. Got Professional X3, Shadow Strike Streak X3, Win Streak X2, The Best Squad, Terror of the Sky, Balancer, Bulletproof, and I also unlocked a new skin for the Hurricane, which I'll have to check out shortly. Only 29,922 Silver Lions this time, but I did manage to pull in 2,758 research points, but again, as with the last match, it just disappears off into the nether because I have nothing to research. I have managed to pass 30 million convertible RP now, however. So, the Hurricane Mark 1, a little monster of a plane and great fun to fly. I really still don't know why this plane has never made it onto the channel in the past. I really do enjoy bringing this thing out. A little disappointing not to get the 5 kill ace in a day for the first flight of the Hurricane on the channel, but, you know, 4 kills is not bad, I'll take it. Anyways, ladies and gents, until next time, click like if you do, subscribe if you want to see more, fly smart, fly safe, and I'll catch you in the skies.